This week, Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann said at a town hall meeting in South Carolina that she would pursue energy policies that would send gas prices back down to levels not seen since early 2009. Quote, the day that the president became president...
Gasoline was $1.79 a gallon. Look at what it is today. Under President Bachmann, you will see gasoline come down below $2 a gallon again. That will happen.
Do you think that will happen?
I just don't know what world that comment would come from. We live in the real world. It's grounded in reality. And gas prices just aren't going to rebound like that. But just as we are in a static world, that is completely unrealistic. And again, it's talking about things that, may pander to a particular group or sound good at the time, but it just simply is not founded in reality.
You were one of the only, if not the only, Republican candidate to support the deal to raise the debt ceiling. You called Congresswoman Bachmann's position a, quote, crash and burn approach. Would you trust a President Bachmann to do the right thing with the economy?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily trust any of my opponents right now who are on a recent debate stage with me when every single one of them would have allowed this country to default. You can imagine, even given the uncertainty of the marketplace the last several days and even the last couple of weeks, if we had defaulted the first time in the history of the greatest country that ever was, being 25% of the world's GDP and having the largest financial services sector in this world by a long shot, if we had defaulted, Jake, this marketplace would be in absolute turmoil. And people who are already losing enough as it is on their 401ks and retirement programs and home valuations, it would have been catastrophic. So I have to say that there was zero leadership on display in terms of my opponents, zero leadership on display in terms of the president, who should have used the bully pulpit well ahead of time. He should have walked away from the teleprompter. The people want you to speak from your heart and soul. Tell us where you want us to go. Tell us what you expect from Congress. Tell us what's on your mind. That never happened, and it waited until the 11th hour. And then we had some of my Republican opponents who basically, I think, recommended something that would have been catastrophic for this economy. I stood alone in terms of supporting the Boehner plan. Why? Because I don't think you can just allow the greatest nation that ever was and 25% of the world's GDP to default. I thought the implications would have been catastrophic. The global markets would have been a complete wreck. Instead, we had Speaker Boehner, I think a pretty courageous guy, step up and say we can cut deeper than we have to take it up in order to meet our obligations. And by the way, we can move forward with entitlement reform, and we can move forward with a balanced budget amendment, and ultimately competitive tax reform, which we absolutely need. I give the Speaker high marks for his leadership.